Hey everyone. Today we're going to jump into a really short, simple story. It kind of feels like one of those ancient fables, but you'll see it's got a surprisingly modern and honestly pretty urgent message for all of us.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story's got just two main characters. On one hand, you've got this super educated professor, just packed with book smarts, and on the other, a simple, practical rower. And well, their paths are about to cross out on the water.
So it starts out real simple, like all the best stories do. Once upon a time, this professor, just full of academic knowledge, he hires a boat. He needs to get across the water.
Okay, and here's where things start to get interesting, where the conflict kicks in. As they're out there on the water, the professor decides he's going to size up the rower, figure out his worth. The problem? He's only got one way of measuring a person, his own, academic point of view.
So he starts with his first little pop quiz. He asks, hey, can you do mathematics? And the rower, this guy's a man of the water, not some university classroom, right? He just honestly says, nope, can't do it.
Wow. The professor's judgment is just immediate and so condescending. He basically says, well, then you've lost 2/6, a third of your life. What an incredibly arrogant thing to say, right?
And you can see exactly what's going on in the professor's head here. He's literally doing the accounting on this poor guy's life, and he's just checked off a huge chunk of it as a total write-off.
But, oh no, he's not done. He doesn't stop there. The interrogation, because that's what it is, right? It continues. Next up on his little academic checklist, physics.
And again, the rower says no. And just like before, the professor delivers his verdict. You have lost another 1/6 of your life. Yep, according to his very narrow scorecard, another part of this man's life is just wasted.
So the tally is growing. We are now at half a life gone. And for what? For not knowing academic stuff while doing a really skilled hands-on job. In the professor's mind, he's building this totally airtight case against the rower.
Okay, so he gets to his final question, one last test from his high and mighty world of scholarship. He asks, can you speak English? And for the last time, the rower just says no.
And boom. With that, the professor gives his final judgment. You've lost another 1/6 of your life. And he seems so pleased with himself, so certain that he's just proven this man's life is just a big pile of wasted potential.
So there it is, the professor's final math. 4/6 or 2/3 of the rower's life is, in his eyes, a complete loss. From where he's sitting, this guy is only living a third of a life. That's just a devastating verdict. But the story is not over yet.
Because right at that moment, everything is about to get turned on its head. A completely different kind of test is coming. And trust me, this is one that you won't find on any university exam.
All of a sudden, the sky just goes dark. The wind starts whipping up, and this massive storm, we're talking torrential rain, maybe even a tsunami, it's bearing down on their little boat. The professor's cozy world of ideas and books is about to smash right into cold, hard reality.
And in this moment, this life-or-death crisis, the tables completely turn. The whole power dynamic just flips. Now it's the rower's turn to ask a question.
And he asks just one simple question. It's not about physics, it's not about math, it's about survival. He looks at the professor and asks, can you swim? And right then, that is the only question in the entire world that matters. And the professor, he quietly says, no.
And the rower, the one who actually understands what it takes to survive in this moment, delivers the story's incredible punchline. Well, professor, he says, then you have lost 6/6 of your life. Your entire life, a total complete loss.
Look at this. It just illustrates the whole point perfectly. The exact same tool, the same chart the professor used for his arrogant little game is now turned right back on him, and it shows a much, much more final reality. The one skill that actually mattered in that moment, it was the one he didn't have.
So, okay, what's the big lesson here? What's the story really trying to tell us about how we see ourselves, and maybe more importantly, how we see other people?
It all boils down to one thing. Whose ruler are you using to measure worth? The professor's skills? Sure, they were intellectual. But the rowers? They were practical. They were essential for survival. What this story shows us so clearly is that the value of a skill depends completely on the situation you're in. All right, so what should we really take away from this?
Number 1, don't judge other people using your own personal standards. It's not fair. Number 2, you've got to recognize that every single person has their own unique skills and talents. What's easy for you might be hard for them and the other way around. And maybe the most important thing of all, just be yourself. Live your life, not the one someone else thinks you should be living.
This whole thing, it feels like an ancient fable, right? Something passed down for generations. But here comes the twist. And this is the part that connects this old story directly to you and me. Right here, right now.
Check this out. The story ends with a really surprising reveal. This isn't some ancient tale. We're told this is a story from the end of 2025. It's meant for us, for our immediate future.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. For you, as we all look ahead to 2026, what's your swimming skill? What's that one unique, essential thing you've got that maybe doesn't show up on a resume or a report card, but is absolutely at the core of who you are? Because that's the real measure of a life well lived.